As a new mom, are you curious how much you'll spend on diapers? Today we're crunching the numbers between cloth and disposable so you can figure out the best option for your baby and your budget. Today's question comes from a new mom, Mindy. She writes, I'm due in a couple of months and my husband and I really want to try cloth diapers, but we don't know where to start. I'm seeing all this information online about the pros and cons of each, and honestly, I'm even more confused than before. We're contemplating costs because they're reusable and potentially cheaper in the long run. The whole washing situation does seem intimidating. Disposable diapers seem way more convenient, but the cost adds up fast. We're trying to balance between being budget conscious, but also realistic. Feeling super indecisive and a little overwhelmed, any tips would be a huge help. Thanks in advance. Before we answer this mom's question, if this is the first time you're joining us on this episode, welcome. My name's Brianna, fellow mom and money coach, and here we talk about real money and real life. So with that, let's dive into today's conversation. Mindy, here are some details that you may find helpful when making this decision. And the first one is the number of diapers used. So newborns typically use anywhere from 10 to 12 diapers a day. And I know that can seem a lot, but thankfully this number does drastically decrease as they age. So by 1 year old, they're averaging about 5 to 7 per day. Now, of course, this can vary greatly depending on their unique habits and the amount of liquid and food intake. Some 1 year olds I've heard can go as few as even 4 diapers, but I mean, that does seem a little extreme. So we're going to stick with the average here of 5 to 7 per day. Now, the cost of cloth versus disposable. So for disposable, on average, you're going to spend about 20 cents to 30 cents per diaper. Now, this can vary greatly depending on brand and features and, buying in bulk and are you using coupons, etc. So if we estimate on the large extreme end of 10 to 12 diapers a day for an entire year, which we kind of already identified, that's a little unlikely. The estimated cost is going to be anywhere from $7,300 all the way up to $15,555. And again, that's taking into consideration that 20 cents to 30 cents and the average of 10 to 12 diapers a day. Now, this is an overestimation, but I think it's always super important just to have the extreme numbers compared to what maybe the lower end average might be. And that would be maybe a more realistic amount would be $2,500 to about $5,000 a year in diapers. Now, again, using coupons and buying your diapers in bulk is going to be a huge cost savings, and keeping in mind that the amount of diapers you're going to use as your child age is going to significantly decrease. But I think it's always good to go into this conversation having these inflated numbers so you have a good expectation versus what your extreme cost could be compared to what your smaller average amount may be, because it's better to aim high and then just be pleasantly surprised when it comes to the amount that you may see in your budget. Some other ways to save on diapers is, of course, buying generic brand. Like when we were using disposable diapers, I really purchased a lot from Aldi. I've heard a lot of moms have a really good success from buying in Costco. You will need a membership for that, but some parents get just a membership just for Costco to buy diapers and then, seem to be pleasantly surprised with everything else that they can acquire from there. So you can evaluate whether or not that makes sense for you. You can also buy diapers secondhand. Some parents, because they stock up on diapers, then they have way more as their child grows that they don't use. So you can sometimes find the option of buying diapers, on Marketplace or from garage sales. You might even have some moms in your community that maybe they stocked up on diapers and have some extra that you can purchase off of them, or maybe they'll give them to you for free. You never know what options are available until you start asking around in your mom groups. Some other ways to save on diapers is signing up for a diaper subscription or membership. Now, these are, of course, going to vary significantly, but depending on what your average cost of diapers are and the convenience factor associated with how you want to get diapers to your house, this may be a good option or value that you want to pay, even though you might be paying a little bit more per diaper to have them delivered and automatically sent to you as your baby ages and kind of levels up in size. Now, keep in mind that both in the disposable and in the cloth, these are estimates only, and these amounts are going to vary widely based off of several different factors. So I do think that it's important that we keep that in mind as we continue in this discussion. Cloth diapers. So since cloth diapers are reusable, the expected amount that you'll want to have on hand is typically 20 to 30 cloth diapers available, especially if you're going to be implementing cloth in the newborn stage. This typically allows most moms to go like 1 to 2 days between laundry loads. But if you're starting cloth a little bit later in your journey, you can totally get away with having less. It again depends on how many diapers your individual child is going to go through in a day. I'm going to link a cloth diaper calculator in the description. Then you can use and plug in your unique situation for your child as your child is born, or for any other moms listening, that may give you a good estimate of how many cloth diapers you specifically might need for your child. Now, when it comes to the upfront cost of diapers, since you're buying more diapers initially and then reusing them, the upfront amount is going to be significantly higher at the beginning. So typically you're going to spend anywhere from $150 all the way up to $500, depending, of course, on type and brand and quality and, where you decide to get all of your diaper supplies from. But then if you want additional accessories like a wet bag or a diaper sprayer that attaches to your toilet or certain dump pails, like those could be anywhere from $50 to $100. So again, you can kind of see how there's a very big difference between cost based on if you're going to go for the disposable route versus the cloth route. Now, another big factor to keep in mind with cloth diapers is, of course, the laundry that's all involved. So for detergent, the estimated average amount is that you're going to spend $20 to $50 per year on detergent. And depending on if you decide to buy a specific detergent for your diapers that you're not already using as part of your household costs, you might end up spending more on that, as well as for utilities. Since you're going to be doing more laundry, maybe you're going to be, drying them. You most likely will probably want to wash your cloth diapers with hot water. That's going to be an added cost into your utilities that some people forget about, the fact that it is going to significantly impact their household budget, even though it may be a small amount over the course of time that they're doing cloth diapers and everything that's involved with them. So the estimated average cost on the low end is about $200. That's assuming that you're doing a basic wash routine, that you're buying like the basic needs or necessities for cloth diapers, all the way up to $800 on the higher end. That's again assuming that you're using special detergent and additional higher brand or more expensive diapers. So there's a big range that amount can fall into. And of course, another big cost savings associated with cloth diapers is that you can continue to use them as your child grows and as your family grows, assuming that you want to continue to do cloth diapers for each subsequent child if you're planning on having more. And depending on the type of cloth diapers that you get and how well you take care of them, you may also have a small resale value. And some moms listening might be like, "Ew, yuck, why would I want to buy someone's used cloth diapers?" Well, you would be surprised at how often you can find reused diaper covers and certain particular diaper brands in resale mom groups. And some of them have never even been used. It might be a purchase that a mom made and kind of got into their mom life and realized, oh, this is too much for me right now. And so they never even used them. And so reselling them or buying them at a discount is a great way that you can kind of work that cost savings into your budget if this is the route that you decide to go. Now, another thing, of course, to consider with cloth diapers is, do you have the time to wash and dry and fold all of these diapers? And if not, do you want to sign up for a wash service that will do this for you? There are some companies that provide a similar subscription-based service where they will pick up the diapers. Well, they typically first drop off a clean load of diapers for you. You use the inventory and then they schedule a pickup, or the pickup happens automatically depending on the features that they offer for their program. And they pick up the soiled diapers and leave you a fresh, clean batch and take care of all the laundry and folding for you. So just because you might be feeling a little overwhelmed with the fact of, wow, I have to wash and fold and dry all of these, there are services out there that will do this benefit for you if that's the route that you still want to go. If you are going to be using a daycare for your baby, or if you're having any sort of nanny or external person coming in to care for your child, make sure that they are also comfortable or accept kids in cloth diapers, because some daycares will not allow infants or children of any age to be dropped off in diapers. They have to, cloth diapers, I should clarify, they have to be in disposable, because that's just something that they specifically are not equipped, or they are not going to be expecting their staff to manage for the kids in their care. So that's another factor to consider if you know that you're going to be needing daycare in the future for your child. Here's a little personal share story, and that is that when I had my first, I totally planned on using cloth diapers. I grew up with my mom using cloth diapers. I have several friends that use cloth diapers. I was just like, you know what? This seems like a great way to save money. If they're doing it, I can totally do it right. And so I acquired several cloth diaper options when I signed up for my baby registry, and I was given a lot of things that were really useful that weren't even on my registry from parents that, kind of were more aware of what the cloth diaper, routine and needs were. But as I kind of came into that first year of motherhood, there was so much going on and so many challenges that I specifically faced with my firstborn that maybe we'll talk about in a later episode, that I realized this is way overwhelming for me. I do not want to make this attempt. And I was like, disposable is the way to go. That's the option I'm choosing. So it's okay if you get into the process where you have this expectation of using cloth and then realize that based off of your circumstances, it does not make sense for you. Give yourself some grace in this decision, because you may get to a certain stage of life that you realize oh, this is not the right time. This is not the right season to do this. Now, by the time I had 2 of my kids in diapers, I was ready to try again, because the cost of having 2 in disposable, I was just like, we have the stuff already, because I had saved it from my firstborn not using it. And I was just like, you know what? Let's make a second attempt. And so because we started early enough, basically my second child grew up in cloth pretty much till he was potty trained. So just because you're making one decision for one child, that doesn't mean that you might want to continue that decision for your second child. You can also do a little bit of a combination where maybe you do cloth during the weekday and then on the weekend you have a break and you use disposable, or you use cloth at home and you use disposable when you go out to friend's house, or leave your own home. So just because you're picking one specific option to use regularly doesn't mean that you can't, make up a system that works for you and your unique home situation. Now, if you are still considering cloth at this point in the conversation, let's talk about the different cloth options, because it is so overwhelming trying to figure out what option do I use. When I grew up, there was 2 options. There was the pre-folds and the flats. And then coming into the cloth diaper world now in my life, I was like, whoa, there's so many different options, which is great as a mom, but it can be super overwhelming. So here's a quick intro of all of the pros and cons to each. So the first one is flats. Now, this is a single piece of cloth. Because I used flats, I'm actually going to show you an example here. So a flat is a complete, it's exactly how it sounds. It's a flat piece of cloth. It can be rectangular or square. I actually decided to use a flour sack towels for my cloth flats. Now you can buy flat diaper inserts specifically for cloth diapers, but using the flour sack towels is a super cheap option or alternative to buying some more expensive types of marketed diapers. So the con to this is that the flats do have to be folded specifically for your diaper each time. So it does require a lot more effort in the preparing of the diaper. But the pro that I found to this and why I chose to go with flats was because I felt like there's a single piece of fabric that it, folds out, so it gets cleaner a lot faster and it dries a lot quicker. And because I was trying to be a little bit more budget conscious going the route of cloth diapering, I didn't want to spend a ton of energy on actually drying the cloth diaper option that I chose. There are several different other ways that you can kind of substitute a flat diaper if that's the option you want to choose, like swaddle blankets or just like cut up piece of fabrics around your home. So there's a lot of different kind of hacks and ways that you can get around the need to necessarily buy specifically marketed and designed flat diapers. The other option is the option that I grew up with, which is pre-fold. So pre-fold is basically a flat that has been folded on itself and then sewn together so it is thicker. The pro to this is that there's a lot less folding involved, but the con, of course, is that because it is several pieces of cloth folded together, you will have a higher drying time, as well as the fact that you do still have to kind of fold the diaper specifically to manage and like create a cover for your diaper. Now, with whichever option you choose, whether that be flats or pre-folds, you're going to need a waterproof cover. And there are several different brands out there, but the one that I actually chose to use was a Thirsties brand, and I really liked this option because of the gussets that were around the legs. And I'll show you an example of that. So this is a gusset right here, and that helps to kind of give an extra layer of protection, let's say, for all of the contents of the diaper. But there's also some other brands like Flip that I use, and some other like similar type alternatives that you may find that may be a cheaper option. But kind of having several different brands to choose from and try out will help you to figure out which brand you specifically want to invest in. And for me, that was Thirsties. Now, another type of diaper is called an all-in-one, or AIO. If you see that acronym, it means an all-in-one diaper, and it's exactly how it sounds. It has the filling or the padding already connected to the diaper cover, and you basically have very little folding. It's just kind of like all together. Now, the con to this is that not only can they be also more expensive, but they can only be used once, where if you have the cover separate from the insert with a pre-fold or a flat, when the pre-fold or flat gets soiled, if the cover does not, then you can reuse the cover consistently across the rest of the day until the cover gets soiled. But with an all-in-one, you'll have a single use and you're replacing that diaper every single time. And because it's all kind of together, where it has an exterior waterproof cover and then the interior for all of the soaking of the contents, it is going to require a little bit more drying time, and you may also find that it is a little bit more expensive because there's more manual labor involved to design and create that specific diaper. A similar aspect to all-in-one is also pocket diapers. So it is a little bit of a different design, but Pocket diapers are similar to all-in-ones in the fact that they are a single use, where you take the insert, it detaches from the cover, and you can like wash and dry that separately. But because there's a pocket that all of that material goes in, it is single use in that as soon as that diaper is soiled, you have to obtain another one. But the benefit is that there's a little less with both the all-in-one and the pocket diaper. There's a lot less folding and preparing of the diapers involved. So I highly recommend that you research all of them. If you have a friend or someone that you specifically know that is into cloth diapering, ask if you can come over and like look at what she has. Some diapering little boutiques set up specifically for cloth diapers will allow you to come in and kind of look through their inventory and just kind of give you an idea as to like what option may work best for you. Now, I actually had like one of each option before I decided to invest heavily in the pre-folds and the covers when I was trying to figure out, okay, which option do I want to use if I were to go the cloth diaper route. So I would recommend that you explore and kind of use one of each if you have that option before you invest heavily in one specific type and then decide, oh, I don't like this at all, or no, I'm not going to be using this because this is just like way beyond what I can manage. So if you are interested in anything that I talked about when it comes to cloth diapers, make sure you take a look at the details in the description. I'll link up as many resources that I could find for you because this is a huge decision and it's really nice just to have like everything that we talked about in one spot so you don't have to go and try like hunting them down. So in all, here is my mom recommendation. I would initially plan the first few weeks in disposable diapers. There's several reasons for that. First is if you're a first-time mom, you're adjusting to a ton of new things. Even if you're an experienced mom, like each baby is different and you never know what fully to expect until baby is here as to what's going to happen those first few weeks. And sometimes you just need to give yourself a little extra grace and a little extra time, and managing and worrying about cloth diapers may not be the thing that you want to do. At least I know I wouldn't. The another thing to keep in mind, or I guess why I would make this recommendation, is because when babies are first born, they're going to pass meconium, and that's going to take at least 24 to 72 hours for it to get out of their system. And because of the stickiness and tackiness of that specific package, it's not something that you want to have to deal with on cloth diapers. And then finally, your baby is going to be, typically a small size, and it's really challenging to make sure or figure out, will the cloth diapers for the like standard newborn size actually fit your baby? And some babies need to grow into that first size 1 of cloth diapers before they actually fit. So having some disposable newborn diapers on hand just to give yourself some grace and to allow your baby to grow is always a good idea. So that would be my recommendation for you. And then when you're ready to try cloth, if you're still like, yes, let's do it, test out only a few, give yourself a few days to make a decision, and then go in and make all of the purchases after you've had a chance to decide like, yes, this is the route I want to go, and this seems realistic for the life stage that I am in. And it's totally okay if you decide like this is not the right time for you. At this point in the episode, if you're thinking like, okay, I do want to try cloth diapers, but how do I manage cloth diapers while also being a busy mom? Well, then don't worry, I've got that resource covered for you. So I actually did cloth diapers with my second child when I was also working full time. And let me tell you, it is possible. So if you're interested in that upcoming video, make sure you subscribe because we are going to have that conversation coming up. And I don't want you to miss it if that's something that you're interested in. Mindy, whatever decision you choose, I know will be the right fit for you, and I wish you the best of luck on all that your mom journey has to offer. Since you're nearing the end of your pregnancy and you're probably looking forward to maternity leave, I highly recommend watching this video next. In it, I talk about all of the benefits and specific questions that you should clarify with your HR. Hopefully, I'll hang out with you more in that video next. Until then, take what's helpful, leave the rest, or modify it to help you best and create your own heart home.